What's going on, everybody? C4 here today, and we're bringing a brand new series to the channel. As you can tell, we've been running through series left, right, and center because we're trying to catch on. We're trying to find something that's different, something that's unique, that's also really fun to do, and I think this is a great idea that I've been kind of wanting to do for a little bit, but I just never really knew the practicality, how I was going to execute it. I think I have got it. I have everything but a title. I was thinking about rebuild roulette, but this is not really roulette. It kind of is from the wheel standpoint. I don't know. That's probably going to be the name that I have it open up with. But if you guys have a suggestion for a dope-ass name, let me know. You guys nailed the podcast when I was trying to do the podcast. So you guys are creative. As you can see here, no shave November. Girlfriend hates it. But hey, the Philadelphia Eagles are winning. Kind of like I'm getting my playoff beard ready. So today's series for the Rebuild Roulette, working title, is essentially based off of like the spin the wheel type series you see in Madden Ultimate Team. And I figured if it's in Madden Ultimate Team, you know, someone like me, a creative genius, could find a way to manipulate it and make it work with franchise mode. And rebuilds are really popular, so how could I combine the two? And this is going to be it. So it's the dry run. We're going to see how it is. This week we're doing this. Next week, if it doesn't catch on, we may go back to a retro rebuild, or maybe we'll rotate the two. As always, on Friday, there will always be a realistic rebuild coming out. But anyway, the premise of this series, we're doing the Denver Broncos, as you guys voted for on Twitter, is we have a wheel. A big, terrifying wheel. And there are 5 options on this wheel. And we have to have 3 spins. And based off of those 3 spins, it is going to be the groundwork of the rebuild. So for the Denver Broncos, based off of these 3 spins, that is how we're going to approach this rebuild. Some of these options kind of put us at a disadvantage. Other of these options give us a huge jump start. It's all about how the wheel wants to treat us today. So looking at our 5 available options, as you can see, we have the big trade option, which means we have to, if we get this, we have to trade away one player on our team that is the highest overall in his position, which could potentially suck. It will suck. There's no way. It's to make it increasingly difficult. So if we get the big trade and then we spin for what position we lose, there's a chance for the Denver Broncos we're losing out on Von Miller. That's going to be really brutal. Number 2 is lottery picks. So there's a positive one where basically if we spin this, we go to the wheel of all 32 NFL teams. Whatever team it lands on, we get to poach one player up to a 92 overall. So basically it's a lottery. We get one stud, unless we get like the Browns or something like that, and then it sucks. But then it's a rebuild format. So for the 3 years that we're going to be doing the rebuild, we could get like a Myles Garrett, and he's a beast. So there's no real bad team or bad option if we land on the lottery pick. We also have the draft lock, which is kind of a disadvantage, which essentially if we get this, we then spin the wheel to see what conference we have to pick from for every single draft within that rebuild. I will be using real prospects, but I'm still going to be handicapped as if, for example, we only get like the Midwest or the Conference USA. How are we going to build from that? I don't necessarily know, but you know, if I'm so good at rebuilds and so good at drafting as you've seen in Madden 18, shouldn't be a problem. We have the 4th option, the MUT upgrade. So basically, if we get this option, we spin the wheel for either offense or defense, and based off of where that goes, we get to upgrade any of the players to what their upgraded MUT cards are. So for example, with the Denver Broncos, I'm just going on the top of my head. C.J. Anderson, let's say C.J. Anderson's base overall is an 84, but he has a MUT card that's an 87. That means we get to upgrade C.J. Anderson to 87, as well as every player on the offensive side of the ball if we spin offense. Pretty cool. And the final option is number 5, which is the wild card. And there are options within the wild card. We have relocate the team, just something different. We might have to do that. We have no free agents allowed, which means we can't sign anyone off of free agency. It's a straight draft rebuild. We have the inverse of that, where we have to sign all our players through free agency and can't draft anyone. We're going to have to trade our picks for other players. I don't know if that's necessarily a disadvantage yet. We will wait and see if we spin that. And the last option is rival trade. So if we get rival trade, basically we're going to spin it and we have to trade our highest overall player to a rival. So if we're doing the Denver Broncos, we're going to have to trade one of our players to either the Kansas City Chiefs, the Oakland Raiders, or the San Diego, LA, whatever you want to call them, Chargers. So there's the big pre-spiel to get you introduced to the series. Now it's time to spin the wheel and find out what's going to happen here in this Denver Broncos rebuild. So let's do it. First up on the first spin, please no trade away. Please no trade away. Oh, it's a draft lock. Okay, so this is going to be what conference we have to pick from. So, okay. SEC bias, SEC bias, but, no, oh, no, ACC, That's not bad. So first win, we got ACC lock. I'm going to write it down so I don't forget it. Could be worse. Let's be honest. That could be definitely worse. We're going to remove it so we can't spin it again. That's not bad. If we had to go into conference-only lock, ACC's probably top 3, maybe top 4. I think SEC, Pac-12 are probably the big ones. All right, whatever. Spin 2. Let's go. Come on. Give me either a lottery pick or a mud upgrade. Either one of those options would be great. Oh, come on. Oh, yes. Lottery pick. We get to take one player from whatever team up to a 92 overall. What team do we get to poach said 92 overall player from? I actually don't know what team would be a bad option here. But if it Texans, all right, poach, lottery, Texans. So that means, if we're the Broncos, Deshaun Watson. We can't get J.J. Watt, but, you know, what else do they have there? Lamar Miller, maybe DeAndre Hopkins. I don't know what his overall is. Good team, Texans. Plus, they have a bunch of guys on defense, even though the Broncos have a good defense. Whatever. All right. That is it. We have one more spin. Right now, obviously, I don't know what would be the worst option. I think my mud upgrade probably would be the best. Let's see what it's going to be here real quick. Oh, come on, mud upgrade. We're getting all the good ones here. All the good ones. So now we have to spin. See if it's going to be offense or defense. So it's going to be mutt offense. I don't know how many Denver Broncos. That's actually probably the worst case scenario for the Denver Broncos. I don't know how many Denver Broncos have a special card. I guess a way, we're not going to do it this episode, but I guess a way we could, you know, increase the mud upgrade is if there's any legends. We could just, I don't know, you know, it's kind of stupid anyways, but maybe we could throw the legends in there. I don't know. That is for you guys. Like I said, this is the debut episode. Plenty of feedback I'm looking to get. But without further ado, this has been a long enough intro. Let's jump into the rebuild with our 3 spins with the Denver Broncos. Let's go. All right, so before we actually jump into the mode, we need to get our lottery pick. So we spin the Houston Texans, which means we can take any player up to a 92. 92 is kind of weird, but I felt like 92 is like an upper echelon, but you're still not getting the 95s and 99s. From the Houston Texans, so that means no J.J. Watt. I asked a poll on Twitter because I didn't know. It was clearly between 3 guys for me. I know Lamar Miller's here, but it was between DeAndre Hopkins. He's 25. He's the perfect age for a rebuild. Even though this only is a 3-year rebuild, 92 is perfect. Imagine putting that with Demaryius Thomas and Emmanuel Sanders in the slot. That's pretty overpowered. See what Simeon can do. Jadeveon Clowney is another option. Just have Clowney and Von Miller going after it. Or we could just straight up say, you know what? Deshaun Watson is an absolute animal in the sim. Even though we get the upgraded, we're going to get an upgraded player, whatever the MUT upgrade will be for either quarterback, be it Deshaun Watson or Simeon, which right now, I don't know which one has a higher. I assume it is a Deshaun Watson, but Simeon had a good start to the season. You guys voted, and unanimously, you went with Deshaun Watson. So we're going to have to do some manipulation because I love Madden, how he's injured, and I can't actually trade him. So I'll have to trade him in-game, but Deshaun Watson is the player from our lottery pick from the Houston Texans. All right, so now that we have our new quarterback, Deshaun Watson, we have our second perk from the wheel, was that we got mud upgrades on the entire offensive side of the ball. So I'll just go through the notable stars that did get upgrades. First up, we got Deshaun Watson, who has an 86 overall Football Outsiders card. So he is looking very, very beastly for Deshaun Watson. Simeon actually had a player of the week at an 83. So what we're going to do is we're going to throw him up in the trade block and see if we can acquire a couple more picks. As you have to remind yourselves, we still have that ACC lock for our draft. So now looking here, running backs, everything stays pretty much the same. Andy Janovich had a team of the week card as well. I believe that was preseason offense. Good for him. It was 87, so that's looking nice. Wide receiver, only small upgrade. Demaryius Thomas is a base 90 overall, but he did have a tier 4. I don't really know. I have no idea how that really works, but he's a 91. His highest card in MUT is a 91. Outside of that, only 2 other big changes. One at center. Matt Paradis was an 80 overall on the base roster, but his MUT card in a base elite or core elite is an 88. So that was a big time upgrade there for us. And last but not least, we have former Philadelphia Eagle Alan Barbary, who had a base overall of 75, but his core elite card in MUT was an 82. So some big upgrades here on the offensive line. We're looking good, man. The only other thing I want to do is, we really need to make a decision here. I think we should try to show up. We'll throw up Shaq Barrett and Shane Ray. We don't need 2 outside linebackers. They're both the same age. Ideally, I'd like to keep Shane Ray, but it depends on what kind of offers we get back. But there's plenty of defensive depth that we're not really going to need here in a 3-year rebuild on the Denver Broncos. So hopefully we make a couple trades here, as it's now time to get into the meat and potatoes of the rebuild. All right, just like that, after one preseason, we have trade offers on the 2 guys I am looking to move. So first up is Shaquille Barrett. We got a first rounder from New England. We're already going to be popping with that. This isn't a realistic rebuild. This is trying our best to build up this Denver Broncos team. I mean, yeah, none of those other guys really fit the mold. So thank you very much, New England, for the first round pick. Appreciate it, bruh. And then for Trevor Siemian, I have no idea what we're going to get for that. He's an 83 overall QB, 25. We might be able to fetch another first rounder. New York, 1st and a 5th from New York. We got, Jesus, they just really want to move on from Eric Reed, huh? So there you go. Thank you very much, New York. Siemian is gone elsewhere. Thank you very much to the Mutt offense, because I don't think if Siemian was, I think his base was 77 maybe, we wouldn't have been fetching a first-round pick from the Jets. So that's 2 more first-round picks to add to our little treasure chest here. Hopefully we get a couple good ACC prospects. But as always with the rebuild, man, our offense stays the same. The only thing that's different is Deshaun Watson is our starting quarterback. So really, we could just pop right up into the midseason point where we will look at contracts, and I'll show you some of our top ACC prospects. Other than that, boys, year 1, let's get in the books. All right, so to do a little bit of housekeeping, looking at our current free agents, Matt Paradis, 27. Like, you know, we only got 3-year rebuild, so we only have 2 more seasons. He's going to be very, very vital, so we're going to try to go all in. I think we have $46 million worth of cap. Charles will be gone. Todd Davis needs to come back because we are running a 3-4, so him and Brandon Marshall are a really good combination in the middle. Virgil Green, yeah, we got plenty of depth. Same way at right tackle with Barbie. Shelby Harris, though, he's currently leading our team in sacks, so we'll see if we can get him on that $10 million deal that's suggested for a fair offer. And, yeah, let's do it. All right, here we are at the end of season number 1, and we got ourselves into the playoffs with a wild card berth. Not really surprising with this great defense and Deshaun Watson at the quarterback spot. Woo! Deshaun Watson up to a 92. Real filthy. So 97, second in the AFC West. Not terrible. Looking at Deshaun Watson, though, mother of God. 4,700 passing yards, 43 touchdowns, and 10 picks. Here I thought we might have made a mistake not going with DeAndre Hopkins as our option. And maybe we could have, you know, made Siemian serviceable. But that is, I mean, Deshaun Watson is maybe one of the most overpowered quarterbacks in the Madden sim. First running the ball, we got 1,000 yards, 11 touchdowns here from C.J. Anderson. Receiving 107 catches, almost 1,200 yards and 12 TDs for Demaryius Thomas. Over 1,000 yards for Emmanuel Sanders. Virgil Green had 9 touchdowns. Almost 900 yards and 9 TDs for the rookie Carlos Henderson out of LA Tech. And even C.J. Anderson got involved. So a really potent offense here for the Denver Broncos. On the defense, Todd Davis, 150 tackles. He had 3 sacks and an interception. We were able to re-sign him. 117 here for Darian Stewart. We got 8.5 sacks, Shelby Harris. 8.5, Derek Wolfe. Von Miller, number 2 NFL Network top 100 players of 2017. Only got 6 sacks. That's a little disappointing there, Vaughn. Take those. Maybe get this guy some LASIK. You know, get those nerd glasses off. Chris Harris had 4 picks, 3 for Talib, 3 for Roby, 2 for Simmons. Defense played well. I mean, outside of sacks, that's probably the only down part. So we made the playoff push because it's year 1 and not a little bit later. We're just going to play the moments. But I have changed up my mentality and how I'm going to do these videos because a lot of you guys want to see still some gameplay. So I will say, regardless of what happens from now on in Madden, we are going to make sure that there's some gameplay if we make the Super Bowl, regardless of the year. But yeah, here we go. Wildcard playoff against the Chargers. Let's do this thing. And don't ever be that guy that invites me to a party. I'm going to block that piece of crap. Alright, so of course we're playing the Chargers. The most feared team you can run across in a sim. So I don't know how this is going to work. But it's only year 1. We have a lot of green grass in front of us. But we're up 7-3, which is good to see. Looks like Deshaun Watson is really controlling the offense here. And he's making the Chargers say, yeah, you know what? This is payback from the 2+ years you've been just shafting C4 here in the simulation. We're looking pretty good. 21-9 in the red zone again. 28-9. Converting touchdowns where the Chargers have to settle for field goals. This Deshaun Watson offense is looking real scary here, fellas. Let's go. 42-9. Ooh, that's a rough one. That is a rough one there for the... Ooh. Oh, that's bad. Let's see, Deshaun Watson, 5 touchdowns on the day. I love Deshaun Watson. I'm a big fan of Deshaun Watson. I've always been a big fan since college, but this is awesome. This is absolutely awesome. All right, let's go to the divisional round. All right, doesn't get easier from the Chargers. Now we're taking on the Patriots. Look, Deshaun Watson Ice in his veins. Already up 14-0 in the first quarter. You know, you can't count out Tom Brady, especially when they're backseat against the wall. But this Deshaun Watson-led offense is terrifying. Absolutely terrifying. 28-7. This defense, Von Miller and company, is just like, we actually have a QB that can move the ball. This is absolutely insane. 31-7 at half. Oh my God. I think we might be able to win the Super Bowl here in year 1. I don't know if we're gonna end it, because you know every rebuild basically just trying to win the Super Bowl. I don't know how we're gonna. What's the best way to approach this? Are we gonna we drop 50? We drop 50 on the Patriots. Deshaun Watson, Deshaun Watson has 10 touchdowns. C.J. Anderson 28 carries for 118 yards. Deshaun Watson back-to-back 5 touchdown games. He's scary. He's the GOAT. GOAT's an overused term. He's the GOAT right now. All right, we're going through a murderer's row here in the AFC. Chargers, Patriots, Steelers on a road to the Super Bowl. It's not going to get higher than that. I'm worried because Le'Veon Bell always has like 200 yards and 4 touchdowns in the play of the moments. But let's see what Deshaun Watson can do, baby. Equalizes 7-7 ball game. Our defense is clearly struggling here against Le'Veon Bell, but look at that. We're giving and taking. We have to settle for the field goal. We miss it! Come on! What do you call it? A good kicker? McMahon. Oh, yeah, there we go. It's over. Maybe we need to start giving the Steelers some respect because of how good Le'Veon Bell is. I guarantee Le'Veon Bell's going to have an insane stat line when we look at this. 35, 10, 42. You just don't want to come. We didn't get one easy game. Sometimes you get the Jags. Sometimes you'll get like maybe the Raiders or the Chiefs, and you can compete. I guarantee Le'Veon Bell had an insane stat line. Let's see. What did Lev Bell have? There you go. 124 yards, 3 touchdowns. It's not even fair. They had 4 rushing touchdowns. How do you stop that? God damn it! Let's go in the offseason. Alright, so looking at a quick draft recap. We had the ACC lock, which means we only could draft players from the ACC. And unfortunately for me, it was the one year that no Clemson prospects, I guess, declared. Wasn't one. I couldn't even scout one, but at least we were able to modify some. We got Deon Cain here, wide receiver from Clemson, 78 overall, one of the best wide receivers in college right now. Originally, he was a wide receiver from Pitt. You know, decent, 78. You know, the overall is nice. Only a normal dev trait, could be worse. In the second round, we actually had a tight end from Pitt as well. And we made him Christopher Herndon from the Miami Hurricanes. Slow dev trait, 77. Is regarded as a top 10 tight end for the upcoming draft class. A little bit of a mismatch nightmare, but, you know, it's pretty much we had to take ACC players, not positions of need. We just got this run back. We didn't modify him or anything. We have Paris Burley from North Carolina. But we actually had a really good find here because we need a right tackle in the 4th round. We had a right tackle from Virginia, which we made ultimately Brian O'Neill, the right tackle from the University of Pittsburgh. Quick dev trait, 76 overall. Again, regarded as a top 10 tackle prospect in this upcoming draft. So that is it. Look, as you see, Miami, Pittsburgh. It was a big year for Pittsburgh, though, before we modified any of the prospects. Couldn't believe there's not one Clemson guy. But, you know, if we have to go to another year 2, I mean, to really go into year 3, hopefully Clemson has a decent season. But, you know, not bad draft. Still, with the lock, we were able to get really 4 solid prospects. So, let's pop into year 2, see if Deshaun Watson can get this team to a Super Bowl. All right, so here's our team as we get ready for a big year 2. Deshaun Watson's up to a 90, Anderson 89. We have Deon Cain, our first-round draft pick, slotting in to the... Actually, you know what? We got to leave Sanders on the outside. But that's a really good wide receiver core. Garrett Bowles up to an 84. We have O'Neill starting at right tackle. We're able to sign Trey Burton as a free agent and as a tight end, even though we were able to get a 77 tight end in the 2nd round of the draft. Defense stays pretty much the same. I don't think there's any new faces that we need to really talk about now. Darius Stewart is regressing big time. But yeah, it's pretty much the same team that got to the championship last year. We're only a year better. So hopefully we can get the same kind of result. All right, here we are at season's end once again in the playoff race in the wild card, 10-6, the long road for the Denver Broncos. And we're going to try to get this done. We still got a bunch of XP that we want to spend. Look at that uber competitive AFC West. Oof, 13-3, 10-6, 10-6, 9-7. That's a bunch of killers right there. Look at our boy Deshaun Watson, 5,100 passing yards, 41 touchdowns, 9 picks. Monster. Monster. Absolute monster. Run the ball, 1,100 yards, 7 TDs for CJ Anderson, Devontae Booker. Vultured 14 away from him. As far as receiving, 900 yards, 2 TDs. Sanders, 1,412 for our rookie Deon Cain. Let's go. 86 for 1,209 for Demarius. Trey Burton, our free agency signing, 885 yards, 12 touchdowns. Devontae Booker at 18 TDs. This is a very prolific offense. Looking at the defense, 150 tackles here for Todd Davis. We got 8.5 sacks, Shelby Harris. Von Miller sucks. What is this, 4 sacks? Grow up. He had 4 picks, which is pretty surprising. But Bradley Roby, 8 interceptions on the year. 4 for Miller, 2 for Harris, 2 for Talib. Our secondary is looking like killers. Once again, our pass rush is really the only thing that's kind of down a little bit. But I'm feeling good. Let's do this, man. Let's try to get this Super Bowl. All right, here we are at season's end once again in the playoff race in the wild card. 10-6, the long road for the Denver Broncos. We're going to try to get this done. We still got a bunch of XP that we want to spend. Look at that uber competitive AFC West. Oof, 13-3, 10-6, 10-6, 9-7. That's a bunch of killers right there. Look at our boy Deshaun Watson, 5,100 passing yards, 41 touchdowns, 9 picks. Monster. Monster. Absolute monster. Run the ball, 1,100 yards, 7 TDs for CJ Anderson. Devontae Booker vultured 14 away from him. As far as receiving, 900 yards, 2 TDs. Sanders, 1,412 for our rookie Deon Cain. Let's go. 86 for 1,209 for Demarius. Trey Burton, our free agency signing, 885 yards, 12 touchdowns. Devontae Booker at 18 TDs. This is a very prolific offense. Looking at the defense, 150 tackles here for Todd Davis. We got 8.5 sacks, Shelby Harris. Von Miller sucks. What is this, 4 sacks? Grow up. He had 4 picks, which is pretty surprising. But Bradley Roby, 8 interceptions on the year. 4 for Miller, 2 for Harris, 2 for Talib. Our secondary is looking like killers. Once again, our pass rush is really the only thing that's kind of down a little bit. But I'm feeling good. Let's do this, man. Let's try to get this Super Bowl. All right, here we go. Wildcard against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Let's see what Deshaun Watson has up his sleeve with his really, really prolific offense. And we're struggling a little bit here at the gate, but defense is playing well. Come on, let's go. Red zone. Let's go. Oh, my God. Another turnover. Must be 2 turnovers right now. Terrible. Come on, Deshaun. Come on, Deshaun. Let's go. 7-3 at halftime. Low-scoring game. I mean, between 2 prolific defenses here, the Jags and the Denver Broncos, as we have another turnover in the red zone. Unexcusable for Deshaun Watson to turn the ball over that many times. And we missed the field. Like, who is our kicker? Every time we've had a field goal here in the playoffs, we've missed it. God! All right. Year 3. All right, so this is a first. We're minus $10 million in cap. So we're going to have to release Demaryius Thomas. $17 million cap is massive for an 87 overall player, which is not going to help. Maybe we can bring him back on a smaller deal, but we're minus in the cap. I have yet to have that happen. Poor cap management there, friggin' John Elway. God, this sucks. This sucks! And then being the cap wizard that I am, we're able to bring back Demaryius Thomas on a 1-year deal. We have $4,000 left. $4,000. You could buy a crappy used Honda Accord with how much salary cap we have left on this team. All right, here's a quick draft recap. I didn't modify anyone just because it's the 3rd year. I mean, really, if there is a legit prospect from the ACC, because with the ACC lock, I would have done it, and we weren't going to make like Derwin James or anything like that. So we hit, once again, doesn't matter what kind of restrictions. I'm still going to find the studs. So we got Curtis Gregory here, a safety from Clemson, 78 overall with a slow. In the 2nd round, we had 3 first-rounders because of the Simeon trade and the Shaq Barrett. We got a 77 overall right guard here from Louisville, normal dev trade. And then finally, we got a 78 overall safety with normal dev trade. There was a wide receiver I really wanted to get, but unfortunately he slipped. We got a 71 linebacker here from Miami, 72 left end, 71, 71. Pretty much, you know, we're not, clearly you can see we're just going for best player available from the ACC, not so much about position, because, you know, that's kind of what you have to do with the position lock. But again, all 70 draft, 3 guys over 77. Dope draft, but it's year 3, Super Bowl or bust time. All right, so as we get ready for our final season of this Denver Broncos rebuild, our team is looking pretty nice still. Watson 93, Anderson 89. We got Deon Cain up to an 86 overall. Demaryius Thomas back in the lineup with Emmanuel Sanders. What we're actually going to do here, I think Sanders is better as a slot. So there we go. Burton's at 85. Offensive line, everyone above a B. Not our best offensive line, but when you only have 3 years, that's still pretty damn good. Defense has changed quite a bit. We made Casas a D tackle. He's a 79. Bradley Roby, after 8 picks, I think it was last year, is up to an 86. Because of that luxury, we didn't have a good safety. Aqib Talib has moved to strong safety where he's an 87 overall. Outside of that, everyone stays the same. This team is as good as it's been. So hopefully we can make a legitimate playoff push. And maybe, hopefully, not have to get in the wild card again and take the long road home. All right, here we are at season's end. And look at that. First round bye, baby. Thank you, Deshaun. So 12-3, so we got our first AFC West title. This is actually the only year that the AFC West wasn't really uber competitive, so I don't know if that's a great thing. Sean Watson, dominant, 4,700 passing yards, 39 touchdowns to 12 picks. He's a monster. Go and get yourself Deshaun Watson if you're doing a rebuild. C.J. Anderson, 1,100 yards, 11 TDs for Devontae Booker. Whereas receiving, Deon Cain has been a monster for us, 100 catches, 1,100 yards, and 10 TDs. Bringing back Demaryius Thomas paid instant dividends. Almost 1,300 yards, 12 touchdowns for him. Manuel Sanders, 1,007. Trey Burton, 607. Good job. Receivers. As far as defense, Todd Davis, 151 tackles. Von Miller finally did something with 109 tackles, 13.5 sacks, which led the team. 10 sacks for Shane Ray, 9 for Shelby Harris, 5.5 from out of position Gotsis, who's now playing defensive tackle. We got 6 picks for Chris Harris, 6 for Roby, 5 from Talib, who's now a safety, 3 from Marshall. Good, man. Those guys played well. Great secondary, as expected here. Let's see if we get anything for the yearly awards. I don't think I've even been checking this. Oh, my God. Look at the Steelers. Deshaun Watson coming in at number 3. Wait. Just give me 1 second here. Because we haven't checked the awards last... I mean, I highly doubt it. I think I would have caught my eye. Let's just make sure that one of those big years with Deshaun Watson, he didn't win MVP. Just because I felt like if he did and I missed that, I'd be pretty disappointed. Yeah, he just got Offensive Rookie of the Year. And Offensive Player of the Year. So no MVP awards, even though Deshaun Watson has been absolutely incredible. All right, let's jump into this playoff push, baby. Super Bowl or bust time. All right, so we got the Jags in the divisional round. Again, you know, I'm going to limit me actually playing the games if we make the Super Bowl only. I think that's fair. So that gets the nice balance between building a team and not really, you know, achieving with my own play style, with still giving us some actual gameplay of the team. So hopefully we can get there, man. The Jags are really good. The last time they kind of skunked us, and it looks like they're already up to a hot 7-0 start. But this is without a doubt our best team, best defense, as we have to settle for a field goal. But we're looking a little bit better here on offense, going forward in the red zone. Look at this. Come on. Oh, settling for field goals, man. All right, 7-6 ball game. Lots of field goals happening again. Good defenses going back to back. Not looking like our offense is looking so hot. Oh, my God. We're going to lose to the Jags again. Try not to swear. Don't want to get a strike. God! Why? Why does this happen? Why does this happen? I don't know, man. Like I said, I don't want these videos to be super long, and if I put gameplay in them, they're going to be just as long as the Friday realistic rebuilds. I don't know, man. Like I said, this is the dry run. I am 100% looking for feedback. Do you think I should respin the wheel every offseason? I already know you guys are going to have a bunch of good ideas to improve this series that I would never have thought of. I guess, you know, you may want to suggest, hey, how about you play a little bit more gameplay and not just kind of hold on to the fact. What are you excited for, Deshaun Watson? Hold on to the fact that we're going to make the Super Bowl, and that's where you get the gameplay. I don't necessarily know. This is a piece of clay, and you guys can help me mold it into, you know, a brand new type of rebuild here on YouTube. But I'm really excited for the series. I hope to God it catches on. Everyone else right now is growing. Everyone else is getting 4,000 or 5,000 new subscribers a month. I'm here at 1,500. So I take that as I need a kick in the ass to try to do something different, try to bring something new. And I really enjoy doing this. I think this is something that should catch on. Hopefully it does. Hopefully you guys did enjoy it. And as well, I'm looking for feedback to improve it. But thank you for watching the new episode of It's a Running Title. We need a title for this. I'm assuming some of you guys might be able to come up with a good one. But yeah, if this is your first time stopping by and you like this series, plus other rebuilds, connected franchise modes, and the like, don't be afraid of the subscribe button. If you enjoy my content, please share this video and stuff like that so we can get, you know, get my name out there and help me grow a little bit. You know, you gotta sprinkle some water on this daisy for it to flourish to what it should be. That's a great metaphor. But yeah, thanks guys for watching. Till next time, it's C4 saying peace out.